We pulling?
Hey, I'm Zax, and this is Broodkeeper Diurna, the second to last boss in the raid. This fight has two phases. In phase 1, you fight the boss in waves of adds as you try to destroy all these eggs in the room. And in phase 2, the boss starts a soft enrage that upgrades all of her abilities. In phase 1, there are two vitally important things you have to do to survive. Number 1, every time the boss puts a timer on 2 nearby eggs, use her staff mechanic to destroy them. And number 2, quickly kill each wave of adds while keeping the boss away from them. Number 1 is definitely the more complicated one. Every 25 seconds or so, the boss puts a timer on the 2 closest eggs to her and then plants her big magic staff in the ground. If these egg timers go off, a big ad spawns, and that's really bad. So, the current tank needs to position themselves between the 2 nearby eggs beforehand to bait the staff placement. Then 2 players need to quickly move near the staff and use their extra action button so that a laser beam from the staff starts chasing them. And then they each need to guide their beam into each of the eggs to destroy them. Ideally, these 2 players are assigned before the pull, and they work out a system for knowing who's going to destroy which egg. Like one goes in front of the boss and the other behind. Whatever works. These players can really be any role, but the best combo is likely the main tank and a super mobile DPS or healer. The big complication with this process comes with finding a route through the room that consistently keeps the boss near 2 eggs that are close together, while also keeping her away from where each ad wave spawns around the room. She super buffs any ads near her and makes them almost unkillable, so it's important to find a route that doesn't have her in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unfortunately, there's no real way for us to give you a surefire route ahead of time, so we'll post one in the pinned comment below once we find one that's legit. Speaking of the ads, they occasionally spawn in packs around the edge of the room, and you need to quickly nuke them down so you can get back to burning the boss. Depending on the strength of your raid, you may need more or less people to go over and deal with them, but we recommend sending almost all of your DPS to start and scaling back if that ends up being too overkill. You also need to send a tank and most of your healers each time too. There are 6 different kinds of ads that can be in these packs, but they're all pretty straightforward, so here's a quick rundown. The Flamebenders spawn rotating fire beams to dodge, and on Heroic they cast Cauterizing Flash Flames, which damages all nearby players and ads, but then heals them for double that amount over a few seconds. Mass Dispelling, the healing buff off the ads, is super strong for this if it still works. The Earth Reavers should be faced away from the raid because they cast a frontal, which the tank can also dodge, and on Heroic, they cast a big physical hit on the tank that reduces their armor for a few seconds. The Stormbringers put a pulsing AoE damage debuff on random players that they should spread with, and on Heroic they cast Static Jolt, which needs to be interrupted, or else it does a ton of damage to a random player and stuns them. The Frost Proto-Dragons occasionally channel heavy AoE damage on the raid, and on Heroic they cast a big physical hit on the tank that applies a heavy bleed for a few seconds. The Primalist Mages cast Ice Barrage, which needs to be interrupted or else it does a ton of dot damage to a random player, and the Legionnaires just need to be tanked. By the way, you can actually tell where each pack of ads is going to spawn a few seconds ahead of time by these little orbs on the ground. Other than the eggs and the ads, there are also some more familiar mechanics from the boss in phase 1. There are some swirlies to dodge, with some little circles to spread with on Heroic. There's a heal absorb that can be healed through or dispelled, and there's a huge tank hit that applies a big healing reduction for a few seconds as well as a dot. The tanks can taunt swap after this cast when there aren't any ads up or spawning, but the boss tank should be prepared to use some big defensives for this cast when they're on their own. After about 4 minutes of this, the boss starts phase 2, where her damage ramps up over time and her abilities get more and more intense, so it won't take long before things get unmanageable. Her staff now automatically chooses random players to chase with the laser beams, so if there are any eggs left up, make sure you're near them in case you get picked. The heal absorb now also spawns a block of ice on everyone that roots them, but it can be damaged to remove it. And the tank mechanic's healing reduction debuff lasts much longer, so the tanks need to taunt swap after every cast. And that's pretty much it. Here's a quick recap of the fight for you. By the way, our Patreon supporters get our guides early, so if you're interested in that, check out the link below. Shout out to them for even making these guides possible. See you next time.